with Goffrey? Who's Goffrey?
That's me, sir.
All right, right this way. At this time, I'll be doing very short time, sort of one-on-one counseling sessions with our villains. I'm going to leave this up to you. If you don't want to know, if you want to know, if you want your characters to know, I'll let you guys decide. Or if you want to be completely in the dark, you can grab a drink or whatever. But you're totally welcome to listen in on these sessions, and I'll let you guys decide if you want to allow that to affect your roleplay or not.
Like, is this
Before we...
Sorry,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
I was thinking, like, is this happening in the same room as us? Is that how we know?
It will happen one room over with a door in between you. So
can we hear what's happening if we're like listening?
With,
okay.
With a decent perception check, you would be able to hear everything going on in the other room.
Okay.
As soon as we got into this room, Varric's ears tucked back down behind his head, and he sat down more on his haunches, and is shaking.
All right, Goffrey, come on in, have a seat. Let me just get my time started here. Yeah, billed by the hour, government job, All right. So, Goffrey, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Blewett. So tell me a little about yourself. Who's Goffrey?
Do you have a first name, Doctor?
Yes, barely.
Barely Blewett.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I spend most of my lives on the water and just sailing one singular ship, and I don't know, been to 2 or 3 of the seas. Find it quite fun.
Fantastic! Wow, yeah. So tell me a little bit about maybe your childhood. What was that like?
How far back do you want me to go?
Well, let's just do a little exercise here. What's the earliest thing you can remember?
Earliest thing, probably I had a really good, probably when I learned to swim. That was kind of a cool memory.
And who taught you to swim?
My father, he kind of bumped me into the water, and I just had to swim.
Oh, yeah, that sounds kind of like it'd be a little scary. A scary way to learn to swim. Were you scared? I'll tell you what, I've got a list right here. It's got a lot of feelings on them. Is there any of these on this list that you maybe experienced or like felt while you were trying to learn to swim? There's lots of words there. Maybe this one is scared, and there's one that says angry right there. Did any of those, jump out to you?
The water was cold.
Cold. Wow, interesting. And he writes some notes. It can feel very cold. Sometimes he looks you just dead in your eyes. Sometimes we can feel cold to things, can't we?
Well, it wasn't my dad's fault. He didn't mean to push me in the water. Like, I was just in his way, and he kind of just bumped me, and I fell. So it was more on me. Like, just he.
So you're saying it was your fault?
No, it was really no one's fault. It just kind of happened. I was just in the way. It was part of like just what he was doing, and just
interesting.
You know how it is.
He begins to write. Hey, while we're getting to know each other, do you know why you're here? Do you know why you're here in prison here in the island of Erdora?
I have actually not the slightest clue, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay, well, let me tell you. Real quick. It says here that you, in my notes, I don't know if these are true. That's why I ask,
Sure.
So it says here that you are a feared pirate on the seas. You have been responsible for several accounts of piracy, including treasure. Several people have claimed that you've assaulted them or murdered their loved ones, chopped off limbs, of various sizes and races. Appears that you command one of the most fearsome crews in several of the seas. These would be the reasons why was someone, not me, because we're friends, but someone else might want you thrown in prison like this. Can what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I mean, besides my friends calling me Goffrey, like I'm a dread pirate. Like it is one of those things. Like it's just kind of known that like I do things that some would categorize as evil, maybe
Sure.
maybe inappropriately. Like they just
Inappropriate. Yep.
yeah,
Some might
just
say.
but nothing's ever been done from a place where I'm like, oh, I want that person to die. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those
Yeah.
like
I hear you. You know what? I hear you. Hey, let's do a little exercise here. I got these things, just lying around. Let me just pick one. I'm just gonna pick this one. Let's play a little game of what would you do? A little scenario. I've been thinking about this one myself. Let's talk it
Okay.
through, shall we?
okay.
Let's say there's this son who prides himself on being honest and just in all things. He's a very honest man. However, his father is a scoundrel. This one time, the son catches his father stealing sheep from another local farmer. Can you believe it? What is the ethical thing and the just thing for the son to do? Should he turn his father in? Should he confront his father? What is the ethical obligation the son might have? What do you think?
Well, it wasn't originally his, so ethically, when he sells the sheep for the money, as long as he helps someone out, then all is fair.
Interesting. So he should not turn his dad in at all?
Well, it depends on why his dad took the sheep in the first place.
I see that. Yeah, that's a great point. Hey, let me ask you one more fun little exercise right here. What's your favorite thing to eat, Goffrey?
If push comes to shove, just some nice cooked fish over the fire while riding out in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. I told you. Oh, as luck would have it, I'm not really supposed to do this, but I've got one of those ladles here. If you had breakfast, he kind of opens his desk drawer and he has a ladle and he reaches into a bucket and he pulls out somehow on the ladle and sets just a steaming, wonderful fish. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you this fish, but I got to run to the bathroom real quick. Okay? If I come back and this fish is still here, you can have 2 fishes. Wow, isn't that incredible? Okay, so I'm going to run to the bathroom right now. Now, don't eat that. When I come back, if it's still here, you can have 2. All right, I'll just run to the bathroom real quick. And he runs into a door, non-window door, right where, and you can hear like some water running from the other side of it. What do you do?
Can I just see around the room, like what's all in it?
Yeah, as this happens, you for the first time you're able to kind of really take in the surroundings of the room. It's very much organized chaos. There's lots of books lots of bookshelves with books on psychology and sociology, books titled strange things that don't make a lot of sense. They're big fancy words and there should be order to them. It's kind of what it looks like, but there isn't. At the desk where he sits behind him is another one of these bookshelves, but sitting there are more ornate things, ornaments, plaques, certificates of accomplishment from various schools of thought and universities. On his desk is a picture of a lovely woman with long blonde hair, and she's holding a small little a small boy and an even smaller girl.
Okay. I just want to make a mental note of the picture and the books, and I just want to kind of sit back and kind of cross my leg and just lean back in the chair and wait.
All right. He exits the bathroom and see, I knew there's good in you. Yep. And he runs over to his desk, still with the ladle in hand, and reaches in and pulls out another fish. Hey, there you go. Just like I said, I'm a man of my word. We're building trust here. That's what we're doing. Okay. You and me, we can trust each other. That's what I get from today's session. Oh, actually, you know what? Our time's just about up. So you can take this fish. And you can actually exit through that door to your left. And there's a different door, not the bathroom door, not the door you came in, but there is another door. He actually sort of picks up a bell on his desk as well that you didn't quite notice at first because it didn't really seem to matter. He rings it, and a guard opens the door and says, right this way, Mr. Coffrey.
As I go to stand up, Dr. Bluffett, did you... Who's the beautiful woman in that picture?
Oh. He picks it up and he shows it to you. This is my lovely wife, Clara. My 2 kids, Frank and Beans.
Oh, Barely blew it. Kara blew it. Frank and Beans blew it. What a lovely family.
Thank you very much.
I'll be going because I know you probably other.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more about your family too. We're gonna, you know what? We're really gonna get to know each other over the next several weeks. And you know what? I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. I hope you do too.
Can I just make one suggestion?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Your books. I'm confused why a man of your intelligence and stature would have them so unorganized.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a. Some call me a bit of a slob sometimes. That's what Clara always says. Clara always says. Sorry, excuse me. Anyways, I gotta get on to my next appointment. So until next time, you, me, we're gonna get along quite well. All right, I gotta get to my next appointment. Have a good one. And he kind of starts to shoo you out. He walks back over to the door, opens. Let's see. Theresias? Did I say that right?
Yes, it's Theresias.
Fantastic. Hey, let's get to know each other a little bit, shall we? Come on in.
Okay. Theresias will head in.
All right, so he kind of walks in, sits down at his desk. How's it going? I'm Dr. Blewett, and obviously your name is Theresias. Today, we're just gonna get to know each other a little bit. Just me and you, and we're gonna build something that I like to call trust. Okay, so let's start with just getting a little to know each other. Like, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, who is Theresias? Do
you mind if I stand?
Oh, absolutely. You may. Whatever's most comfortable for you is most comfortable for me. You know.
Thank you. Who is Theresias?
Yeah.
Is that what you asked?
Yes. I want to know.
I'm look, Blewett. That's your name, correct? Dr. Blewett?
Yes, doctor.
Full respect to you.
Worked a long time to get those first 2 letters at the beginning, I tell you what.
For sure. It takes a long time for people to find themselves in positions of power, and so I understand. What you're trying to do right now, trying to understand me, trying to get to where I'm at mentally, is probably what you're doing. You're trying to understand who we are, what we can do, what we can achieve, to know our safety level in. It sounded like finding a job for us.
I do have some influence on where one is allowed to work, but one thing kind of irked me a little bit. You say, I'm trying to get to know you, Theresias. I want to get to know you. Okay. I have a job. That's true. I get paid. But I want to do my job. I think we can make some great progress. Okay.
Understood. So to answer your question is I am a job.
Can you elaborate that? Yeah, that sounds so fascinating. Maybe unpack that a little bit.
I have been through contract with the Rivermen to bring death to the people when they are supposed to die. Mortals, probably such as yourself, if I'm getting it correct, understand that to be an evil. Whereas it is nature. And
I read a book on that. Mm-hmm.
You read a book on death as nature?
Versus nurture, actually, some fantastic insights on the difference between the two, the correlation, the tension that we live in. Are we products of our environment, or do we establish the environment? It's a fascinating question, and it sounds like a big job, though. Sounds heavy. When you have to carry out this job, how do you feel? How does that make you feel?
Well, there's not just one of me. As you know, people die every day.
I do.
And other people have. Well, other of us have more direct ways of going about it. How it makes me feel. How do you feel right now, working?
Well, gotta be honest with you. Looking for that second cup of coffee. I need that little afternoon pick me up. I'm getting tired. I feel a little tired. But you know what I really feel? Hope. That's what I really feel, Theseus. I really feel hope. I think you and me, we can work through some of these issues here.
We were on the right page, and then you tilted it back. When you're doing your job, you aren't thinking about the hope it's going to bring. You aren't thinking about if a barista makes a cup of coffee, they're not thinking about the consequences of their actions. They're thinking of, how do I get to the next moment in the day? How do I pass through? How do I make that? How do I get that next cup of coffee? So you have to understand the point I'm coming from is not of being grief-stricken by the people that I need to have ended.
I think I'm gonna have to learn a lot talking with you, Theseus. I think you have a lot to teach me, and I hope that maybe if you can teach me, you'd be willing to let me teach you. But let's shift gears a little bit. Kind of a heavy topic. Let's play a little game, a little exercise that I like to do. You talk about death a lot, so let me just set the scenario for you. Is that all right? Can we do that, Theseus?
I have no position of power here, as you have removed everything and that I love and hold dear, and so you can basically do whatever you want.
I'll take that as a yes. Let's say there's a couple of tracks. Okay, the tracks are sort of in a mining facility, and there's two very large tracks and a very large cart on that track. It's kind of a Y. As the track goes forward, as the trolley goes forward on the track, it could go left or right. But you know what? On the right is a group of 5 people tied to the tracks. Oh no! How'd they get there? I don't know. On the other track is one person that you know. Could be a new friend, could be an old friend, a parent, a loved one. As that trolley heads down the track, you're going to have to make a choice. That's a tough one. It's a big choice. You have a lever in your hand to make the trolley go to the left, thus killing the person that you care about, or to the right, killing the 5 people that you don't know. What you gonna do, Theseus? What would you do in that, environment, in that situation?
Which way is the lever pulled currently?
It's currently set to the right. It's gonna kill 5 people. Wow, that's a lot of unnecessary death, in my opinion. But what would you do?
I would remove my hand, let nature take its course.
Interesting. Wow, that's a big answer, Theseus. All right, it takes several notes. One last thought, real quick. Another little exercise we can do. Okay, the last merchant vessel of a trading season. It's bound for home. It's headed home. During the voyage home, the ship encounters an unexpected storm, and 4 of the crewmates are thrown overboard, and everyone thinks that they've drowned. Sad. Later, though, these crew members wash ashore along with several supplies. Okay, some of the supplies were tossed overboard so the ship wouldn't sink. Now, these 4 crew members do a quick inventory, and they figure that there's enough food to make it all the way to the next trading season, but only for 3 of them. Okay, if they all 4 ration, they're not all gonna make it, So, what do you think they should do?
Theseus is going to pick up one of the books on the shelves as he's been kind of exploring the room and just open it. So 3 people, food rations enough for 1 person for 1 whole year.
There's enough for 3 people, which means not all 4. They would not all 4 make it. One person would either have to die, or just volunteer to deteriorate. But what happens if they don't want to die? What happens if they want to live? How do we decide? Do we decide based on who's oldest, who's strongest? How do we decide who lives and dies, Theseus, on this island?
Theseus will close the book, put it back. The ones who live and die are the ones who fend for themselves, the ones who are able to survive until the next trading season, the one that will, in the end, take the food, who is strong enough to do so. If they're young, or maybe they're just stronger than the others, it's truly who is going to be the strongest to survive. So, natural selection. Oldest man maybe dies off, enough food for the rest of them. Someone with a disability ends up perishing, food for the rest. Their time will come, one way or another. It doesn't matter how long they live. Death comes to all mortals, and so surviving for 1 more season until the trade season, or 30 more years until they eventually die of old age, doesn't matter either way.
Wow. I can tell you carry a lot. And but you know what? Like I said, got a lot of hope here, Theseus. I think between you and me and our new friendship, we're going to be able to dig into that backpack of yours, take things out, maybe make it a little lighter. But that's all the time we have for today. So if you will actually, he picks up a little bell, rings it. A guard opens the door. If you will just exit right through there with that guard, he will bring you back to your room. And then I just have a couple more appointments that I'll be able to kind of whip through quickly, if that's all right.
One final question before I leave.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you consider yourself at a position of power here at this prison?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Out? Are you part of the government?
I do get a paycheck from the government, that is how I make my living. It's a living, but I really enjoy what I do, Theseus, because I really care. Yep, I really care about you and all the other guys here.
And you believe it is the correct thing to do?
I really got to get to my next appointment. I really appreciate you being just so honest with me, and I celebrate that in you. So we're just gonna
grab his shoulder and just say, "You keep on doing your job, I'll do mine," and he'll walk out the door.
Takes a breath.
He opens the bathroom door and goes, "Actually, which door was it again? Oh,
the other one. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. A few extra minutes go by. As he takes a lot of notes, and he comes back out. Varric?
Yeah. Varric's still ear slumped.
Oh, you know what? My friend? Is it okay if I call you friend?
Yeah, sure.
There is nothing to be afraid of. Come on in. I would love to. I just want to get to know you a little bit. Maybe have a conversation, and just see what it means. Who's Varric? That's all I want to know. All right, so let's come on in.
Yeah, all right. And he leaves a couple rabbit droppings behind where he was standing. Heads into the room.
All right. Okay.
Sorry about that. It's embarrassing.
Okay. Hey, it happens. It happens.
He's full Donald Ducking it, by the way. He's got just a shirt on, no pants.
I just want to know a little bit about Varric. Tell me a little bit about Varric. What's the earliest thing you remember, Varric?
Man, the earliest thing. It's a bit of a interesting question. I feel like I've kind of lived 2 lives. But the first bit of memories, a little bit blurs together, but I guess I remember my family, my parents, and really our brood. There was quite a lot of us. I was one of the youngest, and it was just a bit chaotic. in the
Do you know how
household.
many? Do you know how many brothers and sisters you had?
When I left, I think there was about 107 of us.
Oh, okay, big family then. Wow,
Siblings.
Yeah,
That's just direct siblings.
Yeah.
Not to mention my line goes back quite a long ways.
yeah, lots of cousins probably. I'm sure.
Yeah. Lots of cousins.
Yeah. Hey,
Um
let's take.
Yeah,
let's,
go ahead.
Let me stop you right there. You know what we're
Sure.
gonna do? We're gonna take a breath. I want you to breathe in.
Yeah, I was questioning a bit there, wasn't I? I'm nervous.
Yeah, you're just a little stressed, and you know everyone gets a little stressed. That's totally fine. It's sometimes it's hard to think of something, someone so cute as you, just so stressed.
Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, but I see a lot of hardened criminals in here. It's my job. I just never seen someone so, wow, just so fluffy. Is what it feels like. You're just a little guy.
Yeah. Lots of hardened criminals in here. I wouldn't.
I'm sensing a little tension here, actually.
Yeah.
Tension
Sorry.
alert! Tension alert! Just
Yeah.
don't know where that's. Want to know where that's coming from? There.
Sorry, mate. I don't feel like I really belong here, honestly. And so when I'm compared to hardened criminals, that's really just gets me. Kind of. I've done bad things, but I think. But I also feel like I didn't have much of a choice, to be honest with you. So I only partially, feel like I deserve to be here.
I got to be honest with you, Varric. I'm looking at your file, and I'm actually inclined to agree. From what I can tell, you are a person of interest in a disappearance. But you actually have not committed a murder. I have 2 counts of attempted murder, and in your file there are some notes that are kind of aligned with someone who might do some very bad things. It seems like maybe the arresting officers were very concerned at what you were capable of, quite a bit more than what you actually accomplished. So I think, to be quite honest, I think we've got a clear path forward here. I don't think rehabilitation is very far away from you. I think it'd be something that you can hold on to quite easily. To be completely honest.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's just unpack. Let's just do a couple quick little exercises. Okay.
Sure.
And I just want to describe a person, and then you kind of to tell me like what you would think of that kind of a person. Okay, so let's say a chef. What would you think about someone who loved to cook food for a living?
If they, artists. I think that's good. Making decent food for people.
Yeah, artist is a
I
great
think
word. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Okay. Ooh, this is a little harder one. A town's guard, a protector of the weak and the innocent. What would you kind of say about that kind of a person?
I would say I would be curious to think who they thought needed protecting. If I'm being honest.
That's a very good question. Yeah, that's a very good insight. This next one. Oh, how'd this one get in here? Sometimes I forget to, put away these exercises. This guy. Let's say, what would you think of someone who runs a little dog fighting ring? Someone who makes dogs fight each other.
And why would someone want to do that?
I don't know. This is maybe some people get excitement out of it, or they bet on it for money. They try to make a little extra cash. Extra Christmas budget. As the holiday solstice comes around.
Yeah, Bailey, have you ever bet on a dog fight before? Just get to know each other, learn a bit about you.
No, I am not a big dog fighting kind of a guy. Now the horses, I gotta be honest with you, that's my vice. The horse track. That's where they get a little like. Don't tell my wife.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horse track where innocent creatures are beaten and whipped to go around a track in circles a bunch of times. That's great, isn't it?
Well, I mean, they have
been to a
riders.
horse race, honestly.
They're not like by themselves. Humans sit on top of them and make them go fast.
Yeah. I'm aware of the concept. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Actually, they're called jockeys. What would you say? What would you think of a jockey? What would you, if you met a jockey? What would you do? What would you do?
Now, I'm not one to belittle someone's stature, obviously,
Obviously,
but I would think a jockey would be. I just would think that maybe a bit of perspective change for them might be interesting. How would they feel? I wonder.
That's a good question.
If a horse rode them around a track in a circle.
Well, that would be
just because I like to get inside. I know you're far better than I am, but I like to get inside people's heads and see what they're thinking and understand things from a new perspective.
Sure.
And I think that's probably about the smallest someone can be, not stature-wise, obviously.
Yeah, but to like who they are. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you here. Last one.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I have a bit of a history with that sort of feeling. Up until recently, I myself was a bit of a creature. Put on for show.
Let me just one last one.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So what would you say? Talk to me about how you would feel about maybe a magician who kept a rabbit as a pet, and maybe he's gone now. Maybe you know anything about that, Varric?
What I would say is, I don't really have a ton of kind thoughts to say about anybody who would keep me in a cage.
Yeah, I see. When you say that, what would it make you want to do? What would you want to do something with that energy? Sometimes when we get feelings, we have energy, and we want to direct it somewhere. When I get hungry, I want to direct it towards a great, just big old steak, a big juicy steak cut right from a cow. Rare is how I like my preference. Just knock that cow down. Smack it. Cut it, put it on my plate. That's what I want. And that's the actions I do with those feelings. What kind of feelings?
Sure.
Do you, talk a little bit about that.
Really, it would make me sad.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would like that very much, honestly. And and I'm so little, that it makes me nervous. Have you seen that giant cat out there? He's huge.
Oh, yeah, he's actually
my
next appointment.
Oh, well, if you got to go, I appreciate your time.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing more of each other. I have one more appointment today, and then I'm headed home to the old wife and kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great for you. Listen, I appreciate the time, honestly. You said at the beginning, I really don't deserve to be here, and I think that I'd love to help. A lot of people in this place, for good or for bad, might feel like they're caged in, and if I could help with a job, to help make that a little easier, as someone who's lived in a cage before,
and
I might like to help.
I hear you. Yeah. So that's all the time we have for today. Why don't you go ahead and exit out that door right there, and from there we're gonna we'll be seeing more of each other. But I think I don't think you'll be here very long, Varric. I got to be honest with you. Something in my gut tells me you're not going to be here for very long at all.
Doc, I agree with you. And I get up, and there's a couple of turds still on the seat, and I hop out. Again, so sorry about that. It's really hard to control.
Yep.
And I hop out.
It's just we'll work on that. So, all right. So he hops out. The door opens. Hey, big fella. You're the last guy. Why don't you come on in? Why don't you come on in and have a seat? Come on in. Don't be scared. Come on. Just little old me. Come on.
I'm already bending down, stepping through the door.
Yeah. Have a seat. You might not want to sit there. The little bunny guy just kind of pooed all over, and housekeeping will come through and get that later. But there's plenty of other seats. Where would you like to sit?
I will pull up just another normal seat. Wherever he,
Hey,
know.
well,
Hey,
gotta be honest with you. You're a bit of what I call a high-profile case. You know, yeah. You know why you're here? Ivar. Did I say that right? Ivar.
yeah.
Okay. I'm Dr. Blewett. You know, and you and I, we're gonna get to know each other a little bit. But do you know why you're here, Ivar? I think we both know, but I want to see how you say it in your words. Wow, that was well said. Okay, I'm just gonna take a few notes here. Are you a man of few words, Ivar?
It depends.
Yeah. Circumstance, and sometimes, we're in a new environment or a new place. We can feel a little nervous or maybe even scared. But you know what?
I don't know you.
No. But you know what? We're gonna get to know each other, aren't we? Yeah. All right, Ivar. I have a
What
couple
do you
questions.
know of me?
I know not a lot actually. Your history, as what some might call a villain, is kind of abrupt. Would you like to know what I know?
Yeah.
All right, let's
I'm
play a
interested.
little game. I'll tell you what I know, and I'll go first, but then it'll be your turn. Okay, this is a back and forth. Okay, if I talk, that's called a lecture. We're not here for a lecture, are we? No.
Mhm.
All right, so the mages of Matoria, which is our capital city here in Legacy, discovered or became aware of a very powerful plane shift, and they went to investigate. They found evidence of a plane shift, but nothing else. Shortly after that, there was an attack on the king. There were his private bodyguard, the dwarves. Those guys are tough, man. Somebody snuck in, beat him down quite handily. Not only that, in the process, our beloved king was reported assassinated. That's what I know. It seems like you were at the center of it. And if I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot of incriminating evidence that you were the cause of it. That's what I know. And then, so now what happened is what you would talk, and you would say what you know, something that you know, maybe that I don't know about you, or something like that.
Ivar sits up straight and kind of then leans forward. What I know, or who I am. I am Ivar, bringer of shadow, bloodletter, end of all, hero's end, door to death, eater of light, provider of pain. My titles are as many as the souls that I've taken. I am Kingslayer. That's who I am.
Can I show you something? Goosebumps right here. Look, right on my arm. Goosebumps. Wow, that was truly incredible. But when I hear you say that and I look at you, that's what I hear. But when I see you, do you know what I see? I see a friend. I see a friend that I'm just getting to know. I see someone who's got a lot of pain behind those eyes. A lot of pain. But you know
wanna
what?
know what I see?
I would love to know what you see.
Oh, Doc. Did you know that I can feel your heartbeat in my teeth right now?
I did not know that.
Did you know I could tell you the PSI at which your blood rushes through your veins right now?
No. I didn't know that.
I see a facade.
I'm gonna roll. I think I'm gonna roll Constitution.
Doc, did you know that if I were to cut the main artery to your heart, blood would leave your heart at a distance of 30 feet?
I didn't know that, but let me just look at some of my notes here. I gotta be honest with you, Ivar. Can I just be real with you? You're making me real nervous. Okay, you're making me real nervous here. I don't want to use the word afraid. All right, I actually have a chart right here, and the word I would use on this chart is very unsettled. All right, that's how I feel. That's how your actions are making me feel. Okay.
Is there a spot for hungry?
Yes, actually, it's right here in the H's, alphabetical. It's kind of chaotic in the room, but the form, alphabetical. Yeah. So you're hungry. All right. Did you need something to eat?
No, I'm enjoying what I'm looking at right now.
Well, I don't see any reason to keep going through this session today. And suddenly there's a knock on the door. The door, not that you came in, not what appears to be the loo, but from the other side of the door, the other three exited. Huh. That is odd. Usually I do the knocking and they open the door. Yes. Just be one moment. Ivar, you are important and your time is important. So let me figure out what this is, and then we will get back to our session. And he walks over to the door. The door opens, but no light comes through it. Almost as if something is blocking the way. Oh. You can hear a quiet conversation ensuing. If you would like to make a perception check to hear the words.
That is an 11.
You can hear the doc, his side of the conversation. This is unexpected. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly allow that. I would consider that highly inappropriate. Yes, I understand. When you put it that way, I have to go get some papers from the front desk. I will give you a moment. I'm quite sure your time allowed here is conditional, so I would not do anything that would incur some sort of situation. And with that, I'll be right back. And he turns back to Ivar. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to step out for just a second. I'll just be right back. And he kind of moves around, and stepping through the door is a giant... Yes.
I didn't say as the doc leaves, I'll say, I have your scent memorized.
He pees a little on his way around the obstruction, and a giant humanoid rhinoceros-looking man steps through. He stares at you. So you're the one that killed my brother. It's kind of crazy how much you look like him.
It's kind of crazy how much you don't look like your brother.
We get that a lot. Magic's a funny thing.
Yeah.
For instance, it's taking a lot of magic to keep me from removing your arms one at a time, just so I can set them down and remove your legs one at a time.
Oh. You're definitely gonna have to do more than that. I am pain. Your brother felt pain. Your brother felt pain when I made his very own bodyguard, the one he trusted most, push him out a window. Oh, you'll know pain. Pain comes from all. Pain is the source of power. Pain is my power. And you shall know pain.
I can't wait to find out. And he takes a few steps to you, and then he holds out his hand. And he turns it over. Go on. I brought you something.
Oh, I love gifts. What is it?
Find out. Come on. A little closer, if you have the stones.
What is this? Some sort of intimidation tactic.
No, I don't want to intimidate you.
And with a blink of an eye, I am up close to him, almost like he can feel my breath on his face with my hand underneath his.
He unmovingly opens his hand. Jared, if you would, reach into the small bag I gave you prior to starting this campaign.
Yeah, baby! I haven't opened this yet. Oh, what is it?
This is your key. I want you to break out of this prison and travel north to where I'm in control. I want you to find me so I will have the pleasure of killing you myself. Along the way, do what you gotta do. Find your trinkets, your treasures. I don't care what you do. But I understand you might not be from around here. I am Rhinox. I am the king of Valoria. And when you come into my land, there'll be no rehabilitation plan. No, we do things differently. And as you cross that border, you tell anyone and everyone you have a special pass to see me, and I will wait for you there.
Oh.
But if you will excuse me, I must attend my brother's funeral. And he turns and he walks away.
As he walks out, I will say, tell his family I say hello. I look forward to meeting yours. What will they say when they find out you gave their very end, the end of their sentence, the period of their life, a key? Thank you, Rhinox. I'll see you soon.
I can't wait. He shuts the door and then kind of slinking back in is Dr. Blewett. Woo! Sorry, got the tension
I'll
in
hide
here
the
with a
key.
knife. All right, and that ends our session, Thanks for listening in on that. Roll credits. Knights and Shining Armor is a podcast brought to you by the Knights at the Nerd Table, but would not be possible without you, the supporting listener. Want to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers, Ben Vipon, Colin McMeekin, and 3. That list is growing, but for now, these few brave souls get early access to all of our episodes, as well as access to exclusive content only available on Patreon. You could be called upon to collaborate with us for a canon episode by heading on over to our Patreon page and subscribing at any tier. When you do that, you also get access to our Discord, which has tons of other fun things like Pokemon Go tournaments, TCG fun, and it's a great place to find others who might be playing the same games as you. Special even more thanks to our friends over at Dwal's Forge for starting a new character illustration. If you want to know what Varric might look like, or you want to kind of put an image to his voice, head over to their Instagram page or follow them and find them at Dwal's Forge on TikTok and Instagram, and they did an awesome illustration. We're super pumped about it. And in case you didn't notice, a little bit of a change to our music this month was brought to you by our friends known as the Whimsical Sprites, fellow nerds who stream, create vintage gamer content, and yep, you guessed it, make sick beats. You can catch them at twitch.com or find them on their social media platforms, including Instagram. Thanks again for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode coming next month. Until then, you can find us everywhere else, including, but not limited to, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter, and of course, patreon.com/TKNT. We can't wait to see you at the table next time, but until then, good night, nerds.